my channel. My name is Luna, and if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe to the channel because I do some derpy stuff on Tuesdays, which means I upload the fuck I want on Tuesdays, and then Thursdays is anime and K-pop, as you can see from the background where I'm sitting from. And today we're going to be doing the stuff that I used last year before going into quarantine, stuff that I still use because of the quarantine situation and the pencils and stuff like that. Now let me just tell you, notebooks and stuff and paper, I'm 100% full on. Pens and pencils is high, but I'm thinking for my birthday I might end up going to the New York BTS store so I can buy the stationery there because I really want it. I really want it. And I might buy some other cute stuff online and stuff like that for my birthday. So yeah. R.I.P. my wallet, you know. My wallet gonna be broken, but it's gonna be worth it, girl. So if you want to see that video, please let me know in the comments below. I can ask a certain someone to come with me, or a few people to come with me for my birthday. I can probably take pictures of the stuff that they got for themselves. I'm not gonna 100% sure be able to get every single notebook that might come in the collection, because you know my wallet might be broken by the end of the day. So as of right now, I'm collecting my coin, you know, girl collecting her coin and shit, so she gonna be fine. But I'm gonna start with the stuff that I technically used from last year and stuff that I still have that I've not been able to use, and because shit has literally gone down and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So the first thing, if you guys remember, for the past 2-3 years now, I've been using this specific item for so much, and I thank my mother for actually suggesting me buying this. And this is the 5-star folder. This comes into like different type of folders, so as you guys can see, my real name is there, but yeah, I don't want to see that. This is like all stuff from like last year. This is like hold up, you guys. I'm trying to find my name at the same time. So this is like just normal paper that I do have stuffed up, stuff like that. And then this is, you know, stuff that I did do last year. You can't see the name because, you know, and you know, it has like a lot of pockets and stuff and storage. So you can tell a little bit how fucking beat up it is, of how much I love using it. And it has not broken since, I think the first time I ever debuted this was when I did What's in My Book Bag, the purple book bag. If you guys remember, the last time you ever saw my portable charger, by the way, my big ass blue portable charger, where my boyfriend kept laughing off me and my angry face. If you guys want to see that, it should be somewhere on my channel. I'll try to link it probably soon. And yeah, I still have it, you know. At the end of the day, it's still there, and it's pretty much still surviving. So this, I'm probably not going to be throwing it away anytime soon. I'll probably buy stuff for next year to just keep here in stock, and then the rest I'll probably donate and stuff like that, because I noticed that I don't use all this stuff on a daily basis, and if I do, it's just there, you know. So this I do use for everything. The next thing that I have is these Muji notebooks that I bought for last year in 2020 before quarantine. So you guys can see these Muji notebooks. I love them so much. I did use them a pretty huge bunch. I do have a lot of them. My real name is going to be there. I'm so sorry, but yeah, as you guys can see, I did take pretty awesome notes and stuff like that. And yeah, I love me taking a good note taking. You know, I love writing notes. I feel like writing notes is something so satisfying to do, especially with you writing like actual colored like notes and stuff. You can actually know the shit and stick it in your head. I think the last time I saw my teacher was like almost like in March. I think it was March 19th or 20th of 2020 when we physically here and where I'm from stopped going full on to school. So yeah, I still have this notebook. Apparently it just erased the period 1 and then the class, actual class, and then just keep and try to block the other stuff too, and then just use it for anything else, because this notebook, I'm not gonna deny, is such a great notebook. And I did buy it in the mall, but unfortunately the mall that we go to, the store left the chat, which I cry about. So that's that. And then I have this notebook for my 5th period class that I rarely use, honestly. It's like, I think like 3 pages in the notebook and stuff like that. And then most of these notebooks I was gonna use at the end for the end of the school year, but most of these are pretty much empty since we ended up switching to online classes and stuff. So now this one has pretty much more notes, and you can tell it's a lot more beat up since I did end up using these. I did end up using this notebook on a pretty much daily basis. Like, you can see all the doodles I used to do, the notes I would take. And sometimes I do keep these notebooks, not because it's just like, oh, I get like spark and joy. It's just sometimes if I see that I have extra space, I'll just leave them in there and then forget what notebook I do use. Like, for example, here's all the list of all the songs that I needed to download that are K-pop, just normal songs in general. I decided to use it for this notebook right here and stuff like that. And I still have like half of the notebook still not, it's more than half of the notebook that I did end up busting in through it. But honestly, these Muji notebooks, I'm gonna hands down recommend it to you guys, because number 1, it's fucking simple, and number 2 is just enough storage. Here's a life fact that I used to do in class. If you have over 8 or like exactly 9 periods in class on a daily basis, use the folders and stuff like that. Keep the paper and stuff in there, and then these folders have a little compartment here, so you could put your notebook in there. For example, let's say this used to be my 4th period class, right? I'll just stick in the notebook here, and then like that. Number 1, you're saving storage, and number 2 is the easiest shit that you could just do. Honestly, for me, I'm keeping the notebooks in here because number 1, I really don't use them, and number 2, I don't need them right now because I do have something in the works and stuff like, not in the works, but you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So the next type of books that I will use is probably for sketching and stuff like that in class, but normally now that we use online, I don't technically use them. I have grit paper that is right there, grit paper and stuff like that. And yeah, I have 2 of them, and I'm actually gonna store them in this pocket of the folder as well. And you guys can see it is a pretty thick folder, but yet it's still holding on. So that's the reason why I love this type of folder so much, that I'm actually going to restock on 2 or 3 pretty soon when I do go back to Target and stuff like that, and get pencils and stuff like that for me to have in my own space. Because the next thing I'm going to go into is YouTuber pack side. As a YouTuber, I do really want to have my ideas and stuff like that very organized, but things don't work out the best I want them. So this used to be a notebook that I would just write my thoughts and ideas and how I was feeling the day and stuff like that. And I used to do it, and then I stopped. I actually stopped. Don't get me wrong, if you feel like you writing your emotions is the best way for you to express yourself, that's perfectly fine. Please keep doing what you need to do. But for me, you know, I didn't want to. So then this ended up being a YouTuber notebook. This is a Pusheen notebook that I ended up buying because number one, I found it cute, and number two, I couldn't resist. So that's the notebook. And this notebook is still pretty on a good term for me to use. So if you guys want to see me using this for YouTube ideas and stuff, I do have some YouTube ideas in here already. So if you want to see any of these YouTube ideas, let me know in the comments below. I know there's a YouTube idea for what used to be looking at my old Facebook post, because trust me, half of these are cringy. Yeah. So yeah, that's the first notebook. I decided to then buy a second notebook. I used to get these from the dollar store. My dad would secure them for them to have like a longer time, but I hate composition notebooks, honestly. So I would not ever see myself ever using these ever again. Honestly, they're just there because I have them there. And now we're actually to the actual stuff that I would use, which is the otaku binder. I do have like a binder full of paper and stuff. This is all the stuff that I'm gonna be doing and stuff like that here. Oh, here on this channel, this is all like my YouTube ideas and stuff like that. And then from there, and I do use this binder almost on a weekly basis, I would say, but I still have a lot of paper to go through. I do have the 5-star Ride Road notebook paper thingamabob here, and I have them separately because this is what I used to write in notes in school before quarantine. So as you guys can see, this works perfectly fine and stuff like that. I just never got around to finish it because number one, quarantine, and number two, it just didn't happen. So so that's all YouTube stuff. And then now we're gonna go into the school stuff that I do semi-use on a daily basis, but sometimes I just write them down on my calendar at this point. So I do have a planner. I'ma just be honest, you guys. I prefer to write it down in my calendar half of the time. If I do have an appointment in the calendar, I did use this stuff for actually organization and stuff, but I feel like me writing it in my calendar is the best organization for me. Also, I have like a lot of alarms that remind me of stuff just in general for me. So honestly, for me, the planner ain't it, chief. I'm gonna just be straight up and honest. A planner ain't it for me, chief, you know. But I did try to give it a shot, and I noticed that sometimes me not going through this often makes me forget. So like when I know that the month has changed and stuff, me having my two calendars, which is a Pusheen one and my BTS one, I have it more written down in my BTS because it's the one that I do tend to look at the most. Number one, because hello, BTS, duh. And then Pusheen, it's just adorable. I could just look at it, but important situations, birthdays, and stuff like that are all most of the time in my calendar. So me writing it in the planner wouldn't be the best idea for me. So basically, you can say that my calendars are more like a planner for me in a way. So yeah. And then of course I do have now school stuff. So the next school stuff is a second binder, and this binder has been with me for years now. I bought this in like 2018ish, 19ish. And it's still in 2021. And girl is surviving. Somehow, miraculously. I don't know how. Don't even ask me, girl. Because she semi surviving. Okay, she's surviving. But yeah, I do have a folder with classwork here that I'm not going to be willing to show because number one, it has my real name, and number two, yeah, but you know, I've been, as you can tell, I've been writing notes and stuff, and yeah, so that's that. And then this is just more 5-star ruled paper. I love this paper. And if I were to get out of quarantine and then start using this paper, I will gladly get the fucking use out of it, because number one, I know that I won't have to be buying paper. Here's a life fact that I used to do in class before buying the Muji notebooks and stuff like that. Bring loose sheet of paper like this to school on a daily basis. Just use them, give them to the teacher, and that's it. You don't have to be breaking off the notes from your notebook and stuff like that. The thing for me, what I used to do the most is when I would give out, that's the main reason why I stopped using the notebooks, the Muji notebooks automatically, was because like I ended up having the paper. I'm like, why not just with my paper first and then wait to use the notebooks? That's why I didn't use those two smaller ones, and that's why they're just there, you know, from last year. So, life hack: get this type of folder, and then the paper, and carry that, and trust me, your book bag will be 10 times lighter if that's how you want it. But if you prefer notebooks, you do you and the way you like it. Since in quarantine and stuff, and then, you know, shit ended up happening, I have my, what the fuck is in there? I have more paper on my notebook and stuff like that. And then this is just, you know, notes that I would take in class. So this is the 5-star one subject notebook. Of course, I do have all of this here saved and stuff like that. I do have some I decorated, and I have been doing some damage onto this notebook, but honestly, I don't use it like that either way. So number one, I don't feel like writing notes, and number two, I just semi-hate it. So yeah, so I do have this notebook and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's all the stuff that I do use to write in. Now the stuff that I actually do use to write is just, you know, these Inkjoy paper matte pens. I do have them tied up because I have every single color stuck in one go. I also love using Muji pens. The 0.5 tip is the best. I do have these that my boyfriend ended up buying for me. I do like these type of pens, but at the same time, I don't like them, to be honest. They're kind of you know, they're not the best type of pen that I have written on before. So that's that. Can you not? Sorry, you guys. And then I do have the Sharpie pen. I do use these Sharpie pens on a daily basis. I love these pens and stuff like that. And then I do have this the Fixon Pilot highlighter. Yeah, the Fixon highlighter. This is erasable highlighter. They have erasable pens and markers, and I do want to get a pair of one of each to have here in stock. I do want to have the collection for the Fuji pens as well, because I love those pens so much. And then, you know, just regular mechanical pencils and pencils, I do have them all in here and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, I do have my regular pens and pencils and stuff like that. So that's just for on a daily writing basis. And then I do have color pencils that I don't use that often. If you're wondering why these are here, is because I have never opened these before, since I have the other pens there, and I do use pens like that, but I just use more black pen-ish stuff. So I do have color pencils here. And then I do have my big ass collection of Sharpies, Sharpie pens, and stuff like that. I love using these a lot. This is a smaller, finer tip for Sharpie pen, markers and stuff like that. I do have these two pens that do not belong in here, that belong in the big boy box and stuff like that. And so I do use these a lot more for, like, you know, my calendar and stuff like that. I do have like stuff very color coordinated. So like this is for like birthdays and stuff in my calendar, BTS's birthdays and a lot more. This is just important events that I need to go to. I don't even have a, and this is just, you know, I think I use this for NCT if I'm not mistaken. Like I do try to color coordinate almost everything on a daily basis. And yeah, that's everything that I have that I do use. But for the big ass mistakes that I need to do, yep, I do have a big ass eraser for big mistakes and stuff like that. It's just a meme that I like to have here on my bed. And yeah, without further ado, you guys, this is everything that I do use. Now I am going to be, like I said before, trying to go on a shopping spree for like stationery stuff for BT21. So I do want to preface saying here that I might just end up getting my biases, which is Jin, which is RJ, and then Tata for Taehyung and stuff like that. So I do want to try to give love to every single member, but because of my wallet issues, we're gonna have to hold back, girl. Maybe we may have to hold that back, girl, because they're probably might be expensive. I am gonna be trying to get like more stationery stuff and stuff like that. So if you want to see more type of videos like these, please let me know in the comments below. And without further ado, nothing is compared to love that your loved ones give you, and I'll see you guys next time in my next video. Bye guys.